Hey guys, it's Kristen here with Find Your Balance Dog Training. The other day I posted a video on the waiting for food exercise with Hooch and with Kilo. So I wanted to show you how we're going to incorporate the waiting for food exercise with some out command training. So before we add the out command portion, we want to make sure that our dogs have a basic understanding of e-collar communication. So we want to have some conditioning work and some training under our belt so that when we start to use the e-collar, the dog will understand how to respond to it, how to disengage and move away. So Hooch obviously has that work under his belt, so we are going on to the next step here where I want to show you how I'm going to have him disengage from his food. Hooch loves to eat, he loves food, so this is a really great training exercise for him and also a pretty big challenge. So I'm going to get him to stand up here. Come on, Hooch. Attaboy. So I'm going to do the waiting for food exercise. Normally we're going to feed the dog in the crate, but for training purposes, I wanted to show you out here what that's going to look like. So I start with the food raised up. I'm going to lower the bowl down. If he goes for it, I'm simply going to lift the bowl back up. I want to be able to set the bowl on the ground and get to the point where the dog is just sitting there and waiting for me to release him to eat the food. Okay, break. So when I begin training the out command from food like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some continuous and I'm going to increase the motivation on the e-collar until I find the number that is more relevant to Hooch than the food is. So I'm going to start out by saying out. I'm going to use some continuous as I dial up on the e-collar until I find that relevant number that helps Hooch disengage from the food, and then I'm going to guide him away. Out. Good. Sit. So what we saw there was when I first applied the continuous, Hooch didn't really notice it. I started to dial up very, very slowly until he started to notice it. He stopped eating. And he kind of like looked at me and was thinking about what to do, but he wasn't motivated to disengage from the food, right? Because he just stood there. So I had to go a little bit higher on my numbers until Hooch was like, okay, not only will I disengage by taking my face out of the food bowl, but I'll actually walk away from it. That's excellent. That's what we want. So we don't want to pick up food, valuable items, bones, toys, anything like that from a resource guarding dog while the dog has it, or even if it's beside the dog, because that is prime time for a dog bite. So what we want to do is train our dogs in out command training so that they can mentally and physically disengage, put them in a safe, secure command someplace else. Now it's safe for me to go ahead and pick up the food. Let's go. Attaboy. So we're going to do this again, and now that I've found my relevant number, Hooch and I have also done a lot of reps with this. So I like to do a lot of reps with the dog with the slow, continuous process until he really understands. And then when he understands how to disengage with the e-collar motivation, then I'm going to move to taps. Right, so that's like more of a condensed version of the command, but we always have to start with a lot of helpful guidance for the dog so that he understands how to do this. Break. Out. Good. Down, down, good. So that time I used our relevant number, so the number that I had found that actually motivated Hooch to disengage, I used it on a tap simultaneously as I said the word out. So because Hooch and I have done a lot of practice and a lot of patterning here, he understands what that means. So he stopped eating, he just picked his head up and he trotted over to me, like he moved away from the food. I put him in a down command. Now it's safe for me to go and pick up the bowl.